Welcome students. So in this video we will discuss here types of chemical reaction. So on the basis of way of completing of a reaction, there are several types of reaction. So in this video, the first type of reaction is combination reaction. So combination reaction, this one is also called synthesis reaction. So combination reactions are also called synthesis reaction, and combination, it means combining two or more than two materials or two or more than two substances. So combination reactions are those chemical reactions in which two or more than two reactants combine together and form a new single product. So here the basic concept is that product is one and always one. So either reactants are maybe two or more than two reactants are used, but their products are must be one and only one. So in any reaction, in any type of reaction, if two or more than two reactants combine together and form a new single product, then such reactions are termed as combination reaction. These combination reactions are also called synthesis reaction here because one new single product is synthesized here. Now for example, all type of oxide formation like metallic oxide formation or non-metallic oxide formations are example of combination reaction. For example, if we burn one piece of magnesium, already you know that about magnesium ribbon. So before burning, magnesium ribbon must be cleaned because their nitrite, their carbonate deposited on metals, magnesium metal, and these are inflammable in nature. So we must have to clean magnesium by one paper and rubbing it at first, and then clean the magnesium ribbon and combust in presence of oxygen, then it form magnesium oxide. So here magnesium ribbon combust in the presence of oxygen, form magnesium oxide. So here two reactants combine together and form one new single product. So this one is an example of oxidation reaction. So at first यहाँ पे आप देख रहे होंगे कि in oxygen basically two atoms of oxygen are involved in one molecule of oxygen, and in product side only one atom of oxygen is here. So for balancing this equation we must have to multiply MgO by 2. So जैसे ही आप इसको 2 से multiply करेंगे, then magnesium, number of magnesium atom again becomes 2. So multiply this magnesium by 2 here. So this one is one balanced chemical equation for combination reaction where magnesium ribbon burn in the presence of oxygen and form magnesium oxide. Similarly, if we take phosphorus P4, because phosphorus found in P4 form, so when phosphorus again burn in presence of oxygen, then it form phosphorus pentaoxide P2O5. So this one is also one combination reaction because here two different reactants combine together and form one new single product here. Similarly, if we burn carbon in presence of oxygen, then it form either carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. So carbon monoxide is prepared when we use a little supply of oxygen, and carbon dioxides are formed when we use excess supply of oxygen here. So this one is one example of combination reaction because here two reactants combine together and form a new single product. Similarly, iron in presence of oxygen form either FeO or Fe2O3 like oxides. So these are also, this one also example of oxidation because here two reactants combine together and form one new single product. Like sulfur S8 form. So sulfur is found basically in S8 form, and when we sulfur react with oxygen, then it forms sulfur dioxide first. So this one is also one example of combination, and when sulfur dioxide again react with oxygen in the presence of V2O5 catalyst. Here V2O5 is vanadium pentaoxide, which is an oxidizing agent which can oxidize the SO2. So ये क्या करता है कि SO2 को further oxidized कर देता है. So further oxidation के कारण ये क्या होता है, SO3 का formation करता है. And this one is also one example of combination reaction here. So in short we can say that कि in combination reaction single products are formed by two or more than two reactants. So two or more than two reactants आप use करेंगे and one new single product अगर formed हो रहा है, then such type of reactions are combination reaction. So decomposition reactions are those chemical reactions in which one reactant decompose and form two or more than two different compounds. So decomposition is basically a reverse of combination reaction, because in combination reaction two or more than two reactants combine together and form one new single product, and in decomposition reaction one reactant decompose and form two or more than two different products. So like if we use NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate, also called sodium hydrogen carbonate. So when sodium bicarbonate is heated, then it forms sodium carbonate Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. So here in this reaction one reactant break down into two or more than two products by heating it. So this one is one example of decomposition reaction. So decomposition reactions are those in which one reactant decompose and form two or more than two products. Another example, if we use calcium carbonate here, calcium carbonate, all of you know about limestone. So when limestone heated strongly, then it form calcium oxide and also carbon dioxide. So here also one reactant decompose and form two different products. So this one is one example of decomposition reaction. So ये decomposition जो हो रहा है ये किसके कारण हो रहा है? So due to heat energy. आप हीट एनर्जी अगर किसी रिएक्शन में अगर आप यूज कर रहे हो तो उसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए आप डेल्टा साइन का इस्तेमाल करोगे. इससे ये पता चलता है कि आप हीट एनर्जी सप्लाई दे रहे हो. और जो ये डिकम्पोजिशंस के रिएक्शंस हैं, यानी डिकम्पोजिशन जो होता है ये बेसिकली तीन अलग अलग थ्री डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ डिकम्पोजिशन रिएक्शन है. द फर्स्ट वन इज thermal decomposition reaction. If decomposition reaction completed by heat energy, then such decomposition reactions are thermal decomposition reaction. वैसे ही सेकंड वन जो हमारा है वो है photo decomposition reaction. So photo decomposition reactions are those in which decomposition undergoes due to photon particles or due to light rays. Like about silver chloride AgCl. When AgCl exposed in UV light or sunlight, then it decompose and form silver and also release chlorine. So this one also one decomposition reaction, but in this reaction decomposition is due to photons or UV light or sunlight. So such type of decomposition reactions are called photo decomposition reaction. Another example like for bleaching powder, CaOCl2 calcium oxychloride. So this one is bleaching powder here. So आप अगर इसमें UV लाइट के कांटेक्ट में ये जाता है तो क्या करता है, कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड को अलग करता है एंड क्लोरीन गैस अलग हो जाता है. सो ये जो डिकम्पोजिशन हो रहा है कि हमारा यहाँ पे एक रिएक्टेंट है और ये डिकम्पोज होकर के टू डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स हमको प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. सो दिस वन इज ड्यू टू अगेन फोटोन्स हियर. सो दिस वन इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड आइदर लाइट डिकम्पोजिशन रिएक्शन और फोटो डिकम्पोजिशन रिएक्शन. वैसे ही थर्ड वाला जो है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इलेक्ट्रिकल डिकम्पोजिशन रिएक्शन और ऑल्सो कॉल्ड इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस. सो in electrical decomposition or electrolysis, decomposition is due to electrical current, electric current, DC electric current का आप इस्तेमाल करोगे और जैसे ही आप DC electric current का आप यूज़ करोगे तो वो एक कंपाउंड टू और मोर देन टू डिफरेंट कॉम्प्लेक्सेस और कंपाउंड्स में वो ब्रेक डाउन होगा. जैसे आप अगर वाटर का अगर आप इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस अगर आप करते हो, आप अगर यहाँ पे DC इलेक्ट्रिक करंट आप यूज़ कर रहे हैं, डायरेक्ट करंट मैं यहाँ पे इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ. सो वैसे केस में ये हाइड्रोजन गैस देता है एंड ऑक्सीजन गैस प्रोवाइड करता है। ऑक्सीजन गैस एनोड के ऊपर रिलीज होगा, सो ऑक्सीजन गैस रिलीज्ड एट एनोड एंड हाइड्रोजन गैस रिलीज्ड एट कैथोड ड्यूरिंग इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर। So this one is also one decomposition reaction, because in this reaction one reactant decompose and form two different products here. So this one is also decomposition, but this one is electrical decomposition reaction, also called electrolysis. वैसे ही आप अगर एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड का भी अगर आप डिकम्पोजिशन करो, Al2O3 जिसको कि आप एल्यूमिना भी आप बोलते हो, तो आप अगर डीसी करंट अगर यूज करोगे तो ये 2 एल्यूमिनियम्स अलग होंगे एंड 3/2 O2 का फॉर्मेशन होगा। अगेन 3/2 O2 रिलीज्ड एट एनोड and aluminium deposited at cathode. So this one is also one decomposition reaction, because one reactant decompose and form two different products. So these two are thermal decomposition, these two are photo decomposition, and these two are examples of electrical decomposition, also called electrolysis. The next one is displacement reaction. So displacement chemical reactions are those chemical reactions in which one higher reactive metal displace a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. So displacement reaction नाम से ही clear हो जाता है displacement. So ये displace कर सकते हैं, but कौन displace करेंगे? So higher reactive metals displaces a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. So this one is reactivity series of metals where potassium is highly reactive metal. So comparison to potassium, sodium is less reactive. Comparison to sodium, calcium is less reactive. So यहाँ पे increasing order of reactivity में मैंने इस सारे metal को यहाँ पे सजा के रखा है. So always one higher reactive metal can displace a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. For example, if we dipped one piece of iron in copper sulfate solution, so copper sulfate is one here metallic salt in which metal is copper. So आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि copper is less reactive and iron is more reactive. It means iron can displace copper from their solution and form iron sulfate and displace copper. So this one is one example of displacement reaction, because in this reaction one higher reactive metal displaces a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. So the color of copper sulfate is basically blue in color, and when we add one piece of iron nail in copper sulfate solution, then after some time their color change to green. So this one is must be one chemical change, because color is changed here during changing. So this one is example of one chemical change, and especially this one is displacement chemical reaction or displacement chemical change, because in this reaction one higher reactive metal displaces a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. So next example is if we use zinc in copper sulfate solution, then zinc is more reactive than copper. You can easily see here zinc is more reactive and copper is less reactive. So zinc can easily displace copper and form zinc sulfate and displace copper. Now if iron sulfate react with zinc, then what happens? So zinc is more reactive than iron. It means zinc can easily replace iron from their salt solution and form zinc sulfate and displace iron. If we use zinc sulfate as solution and dipped one piece of aluminium in it, then what happens? Aluminium is more reactive than zinc. It means aluminium can also displace zinc from their solution. So it form aluminium sulfate Al2SO4 Hol 3 and also displaced zinc. So these are basic examples of displacement reaction where one higher reactive metal displaces a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. So all of these are example of displacement reaction. यहाँ पर एक चीज़ हमें ध्यान में रखना है कि आप कभी भी अगर कोई मेटल किसी सॉल्ट से किसी मेटल को तभी डिस्प्लेस करेगा जब उसकी इटसेल्फ रिएक्टिविटी ज़्यादा होगी. आप अगर कुछ ऐसे रिएक्शंस ले लें जिसमें कि एक मोर रिएक्टिव मेटल का सॉल्ट हो और एक लेस रिएक्टिव मेटल के हेल्प से आप अगर उसको डिस्प्लेस करना चाहते हो तो ये पॉसिबल नहीं होगा. सपोज जस्ट वी यूज जिंक सल्फेट एंड डिप्ड वन कॉपर रॉड इन दिस जिंक सल्फेट सॉल्यूशन, देन देयर इज नो रिएक्शन because reactivity of copper is less and reactivity of zinc is more. So it is not possible that one less reactive metal displace a more reactive metal from their salt solution. So it is not possible because reactivity of copper is less than that of zinc here. Just look at here, copper is here and zinc is here. So the reactivity of zinc is more and reactivity of copper is less. It means copper cannot displace zinc from their salt solution. So displacement are those chemical reaction in which a higher reactive metal displaces a lower reactive metal from their salt solution. Double displacement reactions are those chemical reaction in which two salts just interchange their ions. So these are called double displacement. यानी वही displacement यहाँ पर भी होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या है कि दोनों ही salt होते हैं, इसमें कोई भी metal नहीं होता है. And these two salts just interchange their ions. So what is the meaning of interchanging of their ions? Suppose we will use here sodium sulfate solution Na2SO4 and use barium chloride solution BaCl2. So in sodium sulfate solution, basically sodium is found in 2Na plus form and SO4 is found in SO4 double minus form, whereas barium chloride is found in Ba double plus and chlorine is found in the form of 2Cl minus. So in double displacement reaction, these two salts interchange their ions. It means positive of first salt linked with negative of second salt. So after reaction, this will prepared like 2Na plus and this 2Cl minus. It means positive radical of first salt linked with negative radical of second salt. So it will form 2NaCl, and also negative of first salt and positive of second salt form BaSO4 barium sulfate white PPT. So in this reaction, these two salts interchange their ions and form more stable salt. So these type of reaction or such reactions are called double displacement reaction, because in these reactions two salts just interchange their ions. Another example of double displacement reaction is if we use PbNO3 Hol 2 react with potassium iodide. So again here Pb double plus and 2NO3 minus, and this one is K plus and I minus. So positive of first salt linked with negative of second salt and form KNO3 potassium nitrate and PbI2. So this one is yellow in color. So yellow PPT का formation होगा, ये बैठ जाएगा आपका bottom में, पेंदी में बैठ जाएगा. And this one is also one example of double displacement reaction, because in this reaction these two salts just interchange their ions and form more stable complexes. So इनके comparison में ये ज़्यादा stable हैं, इसीलिए इससे टूट करके क्या होता है, ये वाला बन रहा है. और ये बन कैसे रहा है कि ये दोनों ही salt अपने ions को exchange कर रहे हैं. मतलब पहले वाले का जो प्लस है वो हमारे दूसरे वाले के माइनस के साथ जुड़ रहा है, और जो पहले वाले का जो निगेटिव रेडिकल है वो दूसरे वाले के पॉजिटिव रेडिकल्स के साथ ऐड हो रहा है. देन सच टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शंस आर कॉल्ड डबल डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन. Neutralization are those chemical reaction in which one acid and one base mix together and form a neutral salt. In this reaction, acid loses their acidic behavior and base loses their basic behavior and form a neutral salt and water. So these reactions are termed as or called neutralization reaction. So in neutralization reaction, basically one acid is used and one base is used. Acid loses their acidic character, and acidic character is due to H plus ions. So the acid part loses their H plus and bases loses their OH minus, and H plus and OH minus mixed and form water molecules, and negative radical of acid and positive radical of base mixed or form neutral salt. For example, one acid HCl mixed with one base, strong base, sodium hydroxide NaOH. So in acid, acidic character is due to their H plus ion and basic character is due to their OH minus ion. So these H plus and OH minus both form water molecules, and the positive of basic radical and negative of acid radical mixed and form salt. So neutralization reactions are those chemical reactions in which one acid loses their acidic behavior, one base loses their basic behaviors and form neutral salt and water. Another example, like if we use sulfuric acid H2SO4 for one another base like CaOH Hol 2 calcium hydroxide, also called lime water. So the nature of lime water is basic due to their OH minus ion, and the nature of H2SO4 is acidic due to their H plus ion. So these H plus and OH minus form water molecule again, and the positive of basic radical and negative of acid radical mixed and form calcium sulfate salt here. So this one is also one example of neutralization reaction, because in this reaction one acid loses their acidic behavior, one base also loses their basic behavior and form one neutral salt and also water. Another example, if we use CS3COOH, which is acetic acid, also called vinegar, this one react with sodium hydroxide, then it form CS3COONA, which is sodium acetate, and also form water here. So this one is also one example of neutralization reaction. So neutralization means always a formation of neutral salt and water by mixing one acid with one base. Thank you.